Everybody, this is Mr. Rob, and welcome back to another episode of Universe Mode here in WWE 2K22. We're live here in Washington, D.C. for this edition of Monday Night Raw, just 3 weeks away from the big Clash at the Castle pay-per-view in Cardiff, Wales in Principality Stadium. So we got a solid action-packed night ahead of you. If you are excited for it, make sure you drop that like and you subscribe down below, especially if you want more Universe Mode content. And also, if you're interested in some Rogue Energy, use my referral link down below in the description, code Mr. Rob, and you'll receive 10% off your purchase. But we're going to kick tonight off with some action. Singles action is making her way to the ring first as one half of the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions, Liv Morgan, who's had a very impressive run since winning the titles back in June at the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view. Just picked up 2 title defenses over Kaden Carter and Katana Chance in the past couple weeks, but tonight she has a huge task in front of her. She's taking on Raw's newest woman, the baddest woman on the planet, Ronda Rousey. As you can tell by the crowd's reaction to her entrance, it's been a very big change in attitude for Ronda back to that night when she was drafted to Monday Night Raw. She attacked Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley, recently aligning herself back with her former MMA training partner in Shayna Baszler, and those two on the same page could spell doom for the rest of the women's division as Ronda Rousey, back for the first time in 3 years, a match on Monday Night Raw. She takes on Liv Morgan to kick off tonight's action, and we are ready to go in this one as they square up in the center of the ring. Talked about it just a moment ago back on the WWE Draft. Ronda Rousey attacked Morgan and Ripley. Her and Shayna Baszler seem to be aligning themselves and have the Women's Tag Team Champions in their sights, and we can confirm Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley will defend the Women's Tag Team Championships at Clash at the Castle against Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler. A huge match already set for that show. It is going to be a huge show packed in Principality Stadium. Back-to-back stadium shows here, as it is a good time to be a WWE fan. And if you are enjoying the Universe Mode content, I've said it once, but just go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below. It tells me you guys are enjoying the action. You are ready for the next few episodes. As next episode will also be NXT Heatwave, a special television episode of NXT 2.0. So it's a very exciting time, but back into the action here. Ronda Rousey with a nice slam there on Morgan. Tries to go for the cover, but is only able to get one. As Liv Morgan, her and Rhea Ripley, they've been one of the longer tenured teams in our women's division, and because of that, they've been able to gain the women's tag team titles. Won those titles back at Hell in a Cell when they were vacant, and they've been pretty solid champs. Rhea Ripley did deal with a minor injury, so Liv Morgan was going at it alone, but Rhea is back to 100% now as Liv Morgan in this match, currently taking it to Ronda Rousey, and Liv Morgan not one to back down. If you know Liv has quite the heart, she's wanted this all of her life. Now that she is a champion, she's not going to let it go easily. She's certainly not going to let somebody like Ronda Rousey walk over here to Monday Night Raw and take it to her. But Rousey out the back door, now with a hold of Liv, and she's going to take her down, and there's drops an elbow for good measure. As Ronda Rousey, this is not where you want to be. The MMA background, she's going to strike. She's going to hit you hard. Has that armbar submission you got to watch out for as well. As you can see, Ronda already softening her up, utilizing different maneuvers to target that part of the body. But Liv back to her feet, but Ronda's going to quickly catch her with a couple of jabs with a nice hip toss takedown there by Liv. Good counter. But Ronda quickly back to her feet. More striking combinations is going to back up the champ. And Liv Morgan in a lot of trouble here. Gets taken off her feet. As it looks like a trip there. Is going to go for the pinfall here. She gets 2 and almost gets the 3 count. But Liv again able to power out. Well, no Baszler and Ripley at ringside for this contest as well. Just a straight one-on-one match. As Ronda continues to tie up the arms of Liv. And she's not hiding what she plans to do to Morgan here. Looks to drag her away from the ropes. Maybe try to go for A bit of a cover here is Ronda. No, actually not going to go for the cover. Instead, going to try to go for the legs of Morgan, but Morgan fires out. Gets caught, though. Maybe going for a little bit of a takedown there, but Ronda's able to snuff it out and just applying more pressure to the limbs of Morgan. Going to go for the pinfall here. Gets one, gets two, and almost gets the 3 count. As Ronda Rousey, the former SmackDown Women's Champion, is looking good here. Lost that title at the SummerSlam pay-per-view. She was on the receiving end of that Becky Lynch cash-in. And I think that's just flipped the switch for Ronda Rousey. Ever since she lost that title, it's just not been the same Ronda since she came back to WWE. As right now, Morgan back to her feet. Rousey going to take her down. This is not where you want to be. The armbar submission is applied. Morgan trying to fight it. You can see Ronda just pulling back on that arm. There's nowhere really for Liv to go. She's not going to tap out here. But Ronda done a lot of damage. Now going to go for the pinfall. Gets one, gets two, and Ronda gets the victory after that armbar. She didn't tap, but Morgan with no energy left in order to kick out. And Ronda, for the first time in her 3 years, is victorious here on Monday Night Raw. Gets to celebrate her victory as she looks to head back to the locker room, or does she? Ronda, this is not good. Second thought, she's going to continue to assault Morgan. This is what we're talking about. A new change of attitude on Ronda's more aggressive nature. But wait a second, look who is here. Rhea Ripley marching down to the ring to try to make the save. But hold on a second. It's Shayna Baszler running down the aisle from behind and lays out Rhea Ripley from behind. Rhea trying to come to the aid of her tag team partner, but Baszler cuts her off. And again, Rousey and Baszler continue to target the women's tag team champions. A sneak attack by Baszler, but Rhea getting back to her feet after just going into the post. And she's going to chase Baszler to the locker room. These four far from over. Well, hot start to tonight's show. We just saw Rousey pick up the win, but plenty of action in store for you guys. Madcap Moss is going to take on Drew Gulak, who has Riddle in his corner for this match. Interesting pairing there. Kira Tozawa and R-Truth team up to face Judgment Day. Santos Escobar goes up against Dominic Mysterio one-on-one. And speaking of one-on-one, Dawkins versus Benjamin. There's a future Raw tag team match brewing there. Jinder Mahal will take on Braun Breaker in a main event, a fight. Sheamus versus Bobby Lashley. Gulak picks up the win over Moss, so maybe that pairing is working out. The Judgment Day gets the victory. Santos Escobar as well over Dominic Mysterio. Then Angelo Dawkins picks up one-on-one action against Shelton Benjamin. But now it's time for Jinder Mahal versus Braun Breaker. Well, the modern day Maharaja gets ready to make his way to the ring for our next contest. One of Raw's newest acquisitions in the WWE Draft. A former WWE champion in his own right. So now Jinder Mahal back on the brand that does house that title. So maybe Jinder Mahal can get back to where he was when he once was champion. It's been an up and down year so far for Mahal. He was involved in the Money in the Bank ladder match early on. Had a couple of shots at the Intercontinental Championship back on SmackDown, but was unable to pick up the title in any of those occasions. And now Mahal's here on Monday nights. Could be a sleeper get for the Red Brand if the modern day Maharaj is able to tap into that potential again. He's facing one of the hottest prospects on the Red Brand, none other than Braun Breaker, who gets ready to make his way to the ring. He has been the top prospect, former two-time NXT champion, and since coming up to Monday Night Raw, he's been very impressive. Was involved in the Money in the Bank ladder match's first night as a member of the Raw roster. Beat Dolph Ziggler back at SummerSlam a couple weeks ago. Was able to end that feud against his old rival. And now Braun Breaker on to the next chapter of his career, which is going to be very interesting to watch. What is next for Braun Breaker? Well, we can tell you what's next in about 30 seconds is a one-on-one matchup. As this is our next contest on tonight's show. Jinder Mahal versus Braun Breaker is live, and it's now. And this one is official. As Breakker comes out of the gate swinging fast, Mahal tried to block a couple of shots, did a very good job at doing so, and is able to connect on a neck breaker there on Breakker. This will be a very interesting match, to say the least. A good test for Bron Breakker. We talked about a hot prospect, definitely one of Raw's brightest young stars. Only been on the roster, on the brand, for about a month. But a very good test. Somebody who is able to potentially match power with them, as 6'5" is Mahal, a former WWE champion like we mentioned, so not an easy opponent for Breakker, who right now is just marching around the ring with Mahal in a delayed suplex position before delivering said maneuver. So very good power on display there by Breakker. And now just hammering away on the forehead, shots there on Mahal. This hot start from Breakker, and that's just what he possesses. He possesses such a rare blend. As long as, goes for the pinfall there, only gets a 1 call. But Breakker just possesses such a rare blend of speed, power, and athleticism. It's just hard to match. The son of Hall of Famer Rick Steiner, as well as the nephew of Hall of Famer Scott Steiner, the legendary Steiner brothers. As there's a nice moonsault for Bron Breakker. So grew up in the wrestling business. Knows what it takes. Is able to learn from some of the best. But right now, Mahal is firing back, and it's a nice DDT. And the India export is now in control. Talked about Mahal just a little bit ago. Wants to get back to where he was when he was WWE champion. I mean, yes, it's been up and down for him. He's been United States champion as well in the past. But, he's back here on Monday Night Raw, going at it solo again. Doesn't have Shanky anymore to watch his back. So it's really up to Mahal to get back to that level. And a win over Bron Breakker here tonight would solidify where Mahal stands in the pecking order. Not going to allow these younger guys to come through and take his spot. As right now, hold a Breakker, kick to the midsection. I think he was looking for that DDT again. But Breakker going to fight from underneath. Creates a little bit of separation. Now picks up Mahal and plants him with a nice spine buster. Down goes Jinder. And then Breakker quickly into the pin. Only gets a 1 count though, before Mahal kicks out. Well, Bron Breakker, former 2-time NXT champion. It's only a matter of time, I feel like, before he holds the title here. But is it a little too much early for Bron? Is this a hard matchup? As right now he's about to be put in the Colossus by Mahal. This is not where you want to be. The Colossus is applied. Actually, the Colossus, more of a Cobra clutch. But Breakker with the power gets from underneath. Plants Mahal on the backside. And now Bron with the advantage again. Plants him once more with a spine buster. Down goes Mahal. And Breakker starting to get fired up. Mahal trying to get back to his feet, but Breakker not going to allow him to get there. Connects with a huge German suplex. Look at the throw. All that separation created by Breakker on the release. That is that power we are talking about that Bron possesses. But he gets taken off his feet there. And now Mahal trying to hold the advantage again. Now I think that time he might have been looking for the Colossus, but Bron saw it coming, runs him over there with a clothesline. And then back in control, just pounding away on Jinder. But Jinder again going to take Breakker off his feet. Now he's going to try to maintain control, but again, Bron cuts him off. And again, looking for that spine buster. What a beautiful counter there by Mahal. Breakker now in trouble. Only gets a 1 count, but I think he went for that third time. He went for that big spine buster, but Jinder with a great counter. But this time got caught out with a big power slam. Bron plants Jinder. That should do it. Breakker into the cover. Gets 2 and 3. Jinder Mahal put away. And Breakker able to notch a pretty impressive victory here tonight. Mahal gave it to him, but Bron was just too powerful, too quick. Saw the spine busters. There was that beautiful counter again by Jinder, but just got caught out with that power slam. And that's all she wrote. Breakker, another victory here on his main roster quest here on Monday Night Raw. What does the future hold for Bron Breakker? We'll have to wait and see. Hold on a second. Wait, from behind, The Miz lays out Breakker with a skull-crushing finale. What is that all about? The Miz, with a cheap shot from behind, lays out Breakker. And The Miz, another one that doesn't want Breakker to take his spot potentially. We'll have to get more on that situation in the coming weeks, but now it's time for our main event, and this one is going to be a fight. Two big brawling superstars who want nothing more than just to throw hands. And here comes the Celtic Warrior. The Irishman Sheamus gets ready to make his way to the ring. Sheamus, another superstar that came over in the WWE Draft, had a very successful stint on SmackDown, took Roman Reigns, the Universal Champion, to the limit just last month at the Money in the Bank pay-per-view, and came very close to winning that title. And Sheamus now on Raw, not wasting any time, calling out the biggest fish in the pond for a fight here tonight. Be careful, Sheamus, because you're about to get what you wish for in the form of the almighty, the WWE Champion, Bobby Lashley, who has been on unstoppable path since winning the title, since coming back from injury. Nobody has been able to slow down the roll of the almighty. Won the title back at the Backlash pay-per-view. I mean, just knocked off Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns on that night to win the title. And ever since then, successful title defenses against The Miz, against Seth freaking Rollins, even beat Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam. Yes, it was the pre-match attack from Omos that maybe helped Bobby inadvertently. But nonetheless, Lashley, another title defense. And last week laid out the challenge. Well, tonight he gets an answer. Non-title main event, Sheamus versus Bobby Lashley. This is going to be a battle. And it is our main event of the evening. They lock up right away. And quickly, Sheamus with Lashley up on his shoulders and drops him face first into the corner. So how about a good start there by Sheamus? Well, this match came about last week. Lashley opened the show and said that, he just wants somebody to step up. He wants somebody to step up for his title. Well, he had a couple of people actually step up. AJ Styles and Edge both said that they want a shot at the WWE Championship. Well, later on in that night, Sheamus was able to pick up a victory over Apollo Crews in his return to Monday Night Raw, and Sheamus quickly grabbed the microphone and said, Lashley, if you want to fight, if you want a challenge, well, I'm always down for it. Sheamus laid it out for tonight, and Lashley obviously accepted it, and that's what's led us to our main event here tonight between these two superstars. And right now, it's been Sheamus in the early going of this contest, taking it to the WWE Champion. Lashley knee to the midsection, looking to battle back, and connects with a huge spine buster, takes down Sheamus. Well, Lashley wanted some challenge, and quickly he's had a couple of answers. We'll have to see what that means for the WWE Championship. Still looking and trying to decipher the picture as to what this means for Clash at the Castle. As you know, Lashley will be defending his title on that night, and right now has a hold of Sheamus, though it connects with a nice suplex. Beautiful power on display by the Almighty, quickly into the cover, but Sheamus does get that right boot underneath the rope, keeping this one alive. Now Lashley, again, tries to apply more pressure, but just got to get that boot out from underneath the rope from Sheamus, and this time just going to just fire back with a couple of rights, not looking for a submission or a pinfall, just looking to do some damage. But Sheamus this time connects with a nice Irish whip takedown, no pun intended. Actually, it was old. But there's a big spear there by Lashley. Out of nowhere, takes Sheamus off his feet. Lashley gets quickly back up and delivers one right to the midsection. This is not where you want to be if you're Sheamus. Now locked in the Hurt Lock. Sheamus is close to the ropes. He's trying to fight the Hurt Lock, though, applied from Lashley. You can see Lashley just rearing back. But Sheamus able to separate the grip and roll through. Beautiful counter there by Sheamus to get out of the Hurt Lock, as that was a dangerous predicament to be. Now he sends Lashley down to the floor as this one starts to spill to the outside, and just going to just hammer home with a couple of left hands as the ref begins his count. We knew this one was just going to kind of go all over the place as these two just continue to do more damage to each other. Sheamus now throws Lashley into the barricade and then connects with another left hand. Gets the champ back to his feet again and just throws him over to the side of the ring, almost into those steel steps, and then drops a nice elbow for good measure. Sheamus doing a good job at dealing some damage here on the outside. Now gets a hold of Lashley and does throw him into the steel steps. Rib first goes the champion. As Sheamus has been very pleased with this work, giving Washington, D.C. a little bit of entertainment. That was going for a big bro kick maybe there. Lashley sidestepped, able to get the boot on Sheamus. Now gets him back to his feet and puts him up and plants him face first into the ground. And the ref up to a count of 8 here as these two continue to do battle on the outside. Gets thrown into the barricade. Ref up to a count of 9. These two continue just to do battle on the outside. Slams Sheamus face first into the stairs, and we get a double count out draw. Both men counted out in this one, but I don't think that's stopping them. They're continuing to fight on the outside. This match is no longer official. Double count out draw, but these two continuing to go at it in the aisleway. Sheamus now with a press slam down on Lashley. Just continuing to throw bombs here. As Lashley shot there to the midsection of Sheamus. Now throws the Irish Warrior even more up the ramp. As these two just continuing to brawl. Refs now trying to get in separation here, but nobody can seem to stop these two. They just want to go at it. They just want to fight. The crowd here in DC wants them to throw hands. But we got to get security and refs involved to separate this one. But you can tell those two not done at all. But that's going to do it for this one. This match made official for Clash at the Castle. Ripley and Morgan versus Rousey and Baszler for the Women's Tag Team Championships. But next episode is NXT Heatwave. And we have a trio of championship matches. First, we'll see Cameron Grimes put the North American Championship on the line against Grayson Waller, as well as the NXT Women's Championship on the line. Mandy Rose will take on Indy Hartwell. Is Hartwell going to finally be able to end the reign of Toxic Attraction? And our main event NXT Championship is on the line. Gunther will battle JD McDonough for the top prize on NXT 2.0. It's going to be a great one, but we continue to build to Clash at the Castle just 3 weeks away. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, make sure you drop that like and you subscribe down below, especially if you want more Universe Mode content. This is Mr. Rob, and I'll see you in the next one.